Welcome, everyone. It's the 6th of April. This is the Manchester United agenda. We are absolutely shell-shocked by one of the most exciting and adrenaline-fueled Manchester derbies that there has ever been. And I'm delighted to be joined by Dora this evening. Dora, you were just telling me about your LED light.
Yes, it's not LED light, it's LED light. Okay, in this house, it's LED light. But yeah, thank you for having me once again. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, even though you didn't ask. You asked me about the LED light. No, just kidding. I'm feeling good. It's surprising the way this game went on. To me personally. We will talk about it further, but to me, it was a very boring game, especially when it comes to big games, big derbies. So, yeah, I was a bit shell shocked in the way we both teams kind of set up, but we will talk about it further.
Yeah, we obviously spoke at half time, and you weren't really enjoying it. Whereas I don't want to be possessed by the spirit of Yabba Forbes. But I know what Amonte will be saying about that performance, and I think I'm going to agree with him with some issues. But we'll do a couple of hellos first before we get into it.
Yep.
Andrew, I don't know why you always do this. You put your match ratings in. I looked at them. I was very surprised by what you gave Euro, to be honest, like a 5. Personally, for me, I give pretty much everyone a 6. Maybe Delo and Bruno as 7s. We got Bilal. We haven't seen you for a while, Bilal. I hope that you're doing well. We've got Subvid. Good evening to you. We've got Simon Warner. Out of the past 2 league meetings, we got between us and City, because we've got 1 point out of the last 2 games. And it's Steph. Steph Griffiths is in the house. Anala keeps his first clean sheet since December the 1st.
Oh my God. That's too long. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's 4 months. I think that Xerxes last scored December the 7th. So we'll see if he can do that. But good evening, everyone. I know that was a lot of people were saying that was a really disappointing way to spend their Sunday afternoon. I was all right with it in general. So we always talk about the team, Dora, and you weren't here on Thursday, but me and Yab had a big fight about whether Xerxes should start or not. Were you surprised when you saw the team, or did you agree with it, all that kind of stuff?
Honestly, we started. So let's repeat the starting 11, right? We had Onan on goal. We had Dalot, Dorgon wing backs. We had back 3 of Euro, Maguire, and Mazraoui. Like that's a standard defense or wind of Amorim, especially in the last few games. Ugarte and Casemiro started once again. Now we discussed the way Ugarte works in this team. I don't like him as a player currently, honestly. Like, this isn't against him personally. It's just I don't think that he has what it takes to be in that double in the middle today. Like, we will talk about it. I was a bit iffy about him, but when he came in, him and Casemiro provided really good partnership to the team. They were very good in the midfield, so I wasn't necessarily surprised about that. However, when I look at this, attack of Garnacho, who was it? Garnacho, Rasmus, Bruno, and who else?
Well, I said Dorgu / Dalot was the
yeah. So those 3, right? So Bruno, Garnacho, and Højlund. I mean, to me, like, I think it made sense in the way City are set up. Like, okay, so on one point, like, I get why Omondi, for some other fans wanted someone like Zirse, who is going to, keep the ball and provide passes to the wingers. In this case, the wing backs and the likes of Garnacho and Bruno, trying to run, at the goal, and of course Rasmus. Oh, not Rasmus, sorry, to those two. But I feel for this game, because City are sitting so high up, I think that Zirkse cannot follow. I don't think he is necessarily good at closing up the opposing defenders when it comes to defensive structure. I think that he cannot play with that intensity for 60, 70 minutes. I think he just doesn't have it in him. And we know that he gets gassed after 20, 30 minutes. Like, he does, he, even though I criticize Rasmus in the way he plays sometimes, the way he's, running. I said it once, I think he's running like a headless chicken, but he can provide that energy in front. And I think what is his job, we can agree on this, and I think we concluded that on this
It's not
channel
to
many
score
times.
goals, is it?
Not to score the goal, not to score goals. I mean, how many times did he have to go to ball today? Because his task is to take away the defenders and create space for others, right? So I guess when it comes to that particular tactic, he's been doing good. He's been like, it made sense, right? You have Diaz and Guardiol, right? Guardiol in front of him. He needs to take away one of them, so Bruno, or either Bruno or Garnacho, have the space to attack. And we saw some of those chances today, especially in the first half. So it made sense when you look at it deeply, or not even deeply, like when you look at it, on the stat sheet or on the board, it makes sense. And as much as I personally don't like the way Erasmus plays, I think it made sense for him to start. And to Bruno be on that number 10 spot, that is his natural position. You have Ugarte and Casemiro, who is going to keep his back, who are going to keep the defensive possession better than Bruno in those places. And now he has the freedom to put those balls up front for Garnacho and Højlund, who are the runners, essentially, and the wingbacks. So, yeah, to me, this wasn't surprising. And, yeah, I mean, on the other hand, it's good to have an option from the bench in Zirkse in these kinds of games, because he's coming in fresh and he provides something else, and the whole tactical part of the game kind of changes. He has a different task in front. So yeah, but I wasn't surprised. So in short, I wasn't surprised.
If only it had been in short.
Yeah.
No, of course, I'm joking.
What are your thoughts about it? Have you been surprised? Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, but I want to read some of the comments first.
Yeah.
And the first one actually is something Simon put in, which I've lost. Yeah, Maguire. I checked the post-match quotes. Maguire isn't injured. Amarin talks about spreading the minutes, and he got taken off, I think, 57th minute, 60th minute, something like that. So it's a planned substitution. Should be all right. And Kobe Mainu is probably going to be in the squad. We'll also talk about that little biscuit baron that turned up on the bench and had a very interesting chat with Pep at the end. United still haven't secured 40 points, and it's April. Absolutely outrageous. See you later, Steph. Thank you for coming along. We'll deal with this very, very quickly. Garnacho in the first minute was outside the box, wasn't a pen, and then the pen Simon is talking about was it Diaz? He kind of fell over from a decent transition from United, and it went near his arm. Neither were pens for me.
Agreed.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
No pens this game. No pens this game, in my opinion.
Shout out to Agile Beast. The game's so boring. No midfield for old men. I like it.
I agree.
Right, we got Andrew. How many times is Rasmus going to be given a ball to chase in the channel for him to do absolutely nothing in order to go win the ball for us? Do you think this is like, so this talks in about how Rasmus is playing, and I think that when you play a wing back system, okay, so your width is naturally going to be a lot deeper. It's very difficult to play like with a player like Xerxes, your number 9. Because his game is back to goal and widening the play. And I think that what that does is it limits the impact of the number 10s. Whereas if Rasmus is stretching defenses and running channels, it gives you more it gives more space to your Garnachos and your Brunos and so on. And I thought that even though Rasmus got eaten up a little bit by Diaz today, I thought he had an all right game, to be honest, by his standards. I know he was only ever really involved in one maybe sort of goal incident where what's he called, Diaz, blocked it with his tummy. But I think that we created a lot of chances. And you've got to think, I mean, man, that Dorgu, man, that touch that he took in the box, I mean, that was very, very disappointing. And I did really like it when Ugarte had a shot and it hit someone in the crowd, it hit them in the nuts. I found that quite funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was all right with the team. I just I know what to expect from them now, Dora. And when I look at the overall performance, I think it was a good performance, to be honest. That defending that we did, how we managed our spaces, we didn't let them go through the midfield. I think they only really had one or two transitions. Like Anana, he had one difficult moment to deal with, and I don't even think he even bloody saw it. He just sort of punched the ball away.
Yeah,
I think
because
yeah,
go on.
Carry on.
Sorry. No, I just wanted to add, the son, when he saved that chance from Marmush, he was, oh my God, the sun is coming into my eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
As if normally he'd have caught it one-handed.
Yeah. It was a very funny moment to me. It was a very funny moment.
I did really enjoy it when the crowd were singing about Foden's mum. That entertained me a lot. It shouldn't. And we
I haven't heard it in
that.
the broadcast. I haven't heard it. What did they say?
I will type it in the private chat for you.
Okay. It's not nice.
Yeah, it's not nice. They are. But I
God. Okay.
Whole stadium singing. I mean, the fans had a good time. I'm not sure how the protest has gone. I've seen a couple of images, and it doesn't look like a lot of people. But it was nice seeing Eric Cantona there. And
I will just say this, BT, before we move on, and I will not talk about it again. The leader of the certain fan, fan group that leads apparently this protest was sitting next to Cantona and chanting or whatever. So the protest
wasn't
went
that
well.
Pete Boyle that was next to him?
Isn't he the leader of that group, fan group? That is,
I think so.
That are organizing those protests. They were before. They didn't they protest before 1915-8 or whatever they're called. No,
I'm not sure that Pete Boyle is part of it. I mean, he's obviously a very famous fan, and he arranged security for when was it Bex and Gary Neville that were in the away end as players somewhat. He's a well-known figure, but I don't think that he is in a leadership role at the 1958. I'm not.
Okay, so I'm disinformed, but yeah,
Well, are you being disabused of that notion now?
No, I just leave Cantona alone. Okay, he's just there to watch the game, and then someone is next to him and come on, chillax.
Well, Andrew is obviously saying the crowd was dead for most of the game.
I mean, it's hard to hear over the broadcast, especially when we, for example, in our when you are watching it in foreign country, your commentator is the loudest person, but the broadcast is even more muted. I would say, the sound is even more decreased, so you cannot hear the full extent of it, right? But yeah, I mean, it was up and down from my perspective when it comes to atmosphere. I'm not sure why. Maybe once again I am.
Well, they weren't reacting to what was on the pitch. They were reacting to what away fans were singing.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's
maybe
like a tennis match.
Yeah, probably because and honestly, the game was a bit dead.
Yeah.
Like I agree with Agile Beast. Like it was a very boring game for this huge of a game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's something that we will talk about. This is a good thing as well. Is that like we often talk about on this channel? I think we're a little bit too pro Xerxes at the moment, especially since I've seen his goal scoring record, and also when you look at like Arsenal have got a defensive midfielder as their number 9, who's like got as many goals as our two forwards have combined. In like, I mean, yeah, they're in a better position than us, but it's very disappointing. And actually, you're right. I said that Hoyland, I think he did okay today, but not a single shot from him. I don't think that that's just the result of his teammates not giving them the ball. That's you need more hunger and desire, and that was the key thing that we lacked today in attack. Is that we were nice and organised and diligent and concentrated in defence, but we didn't really think that we could score a goal, did we?
I mean, it felt like we can discuss it further, maybe some of those chances. But for example, that Garnacho chance in the first half, where Casemiro almost got it with his head, it bounced off him, and he didn't even shoot the ball, which was tragic. Then on the other hand, and then a few minutes later, great ball from the wing position. I'm not sure who. Maybe it was Dalo or maybe even Garnacho. I'm not sure. It got to Godorgu, and it feels like these people don't want to shoot some. Like they don't know what to do when they are in the attack, when they are in front of the goal, because
It's like, have you ever played FIFA or Pro Evolution
yes,
Soccer and you get the
yeah,
shoot button and the cross button wrong? You're using the
yes,
wrong controls. That's
yes,
what it feels like with Dorgu in when he shoots.
yeah,
He's
and
pressing cross by accident.
exactly, and it's concerning to me, BT. Like I know this has been a problem throughout the whole year because our strikers, obviously, I'm talking about Holland and Xerxes, they are pretty bad in the attack. They don't score goals at all. Uh, some would say some of them are, they are useless when it comes to that. But when you see your except Bruno Fernandes, everyone else is just so bad in front of the goal, so bad in front of the goal. Dorgu flunked it 2 times actually this game, where he could have just strike that ball right in. I've seen many goals scored like that, BT, from wing backs, from wingers. I didn't see this season from our players, because they are always afraid to strike that ball. Like, don't be afraid. For once in your life, be brave and strike that ball. Who cares? Like, who cares? And then that Garnacho, once again, like I don't fault him for today's game. I think he played okay. It's just you can clearly see some of his weaknesses in his game, and
Yeah,
we discussed it many times this on this channel. He obviously lacks something. The finishing, the balance. He looks like he's going to fall on the ground every second when he runs, which is concerning to me. Like the way he's running, he like his body is so. It feels like he's going to fall on his head every time he starts running. But it's like they are afraid, the confidence issue. And I don't know how Amorim feels about this, because his attackers are afraid to shoot the ball. And to me, that's like, I know Zirkse had a chance in the second half where Ederson scored. It was mostly in the middle of the goal, but I mean, he caught it that cross and he tried to strike it, and it almost went into the goal. But I don't know what he can do. Especially we are going to play against Lyon in in the Europa League. We cannot afford missing so many sitters like this, or missing or ruining these kind of chances where we could have won it today, BT. If they are
yeah.
better, we could have won it against City once again. I mean, something does, like, Pep doesn't like playing against this, how do you say, tactic of Amorim, because it clearly doesn't suit him. That's why he's struggling, and I know they're struggling in their own terms, but they are struggling. They lost 2 times to him, and now he's drawing against him. So why not just take the game by the neck in the first half, and we are chilling, for the rest of the game. But it's just this team is just attacks things. Like I can see this club buying three attacking players this summer, and I wouldn't be surprised. They are so bad in the attack. It's concerning seeing us attack like this.
All right, let's have a look at some comments, then we'll get back to that. First of all, we got the first of our Liverpool fans in. Hello, Sydney. There won't be any nonsensical, dubious transfers tonight. Well, hopefully not, Sydney, because you're on watch now. You don't do that. That's not the culture of this channel to feed us stories that are not true. Brush. Let me know if you want to pop on, Brush. Big up, guys. I'd have been better off taking a nap. Such a boring game.
Yeah.
It was. But hello. It's not been a good day for Liverpool fans. Casemiro must have enjoyed playing that game that suited his pace. This I agree with from Andrew, and it's rare for us to agree, is that I generally can't see any goals outside of these two players, and maybe Casemiro at a set piece at the moment. United's profligacy in front of goal will cost us a place in the top half of the table. Leon will be physical. It's quite likely United would take Lacazette. I wouldn't have thought so. I would like to see Bruno in the false nine for the Europa League games, maximise our goal threat and shot threat. The problem is, Agile Beast, is that we need Bruno in three positions. We need him at 6, 8 and 9, because as frustrating as he can be, he genuinely is the only player of any quality that we have, or like Champions League quality. We've got a new person, Ivana. Hello to you. I hope that you are doing very well. Andrew's saying we're poor in the final third. Ed is coming in, bigging up Fulham. Yeah, good stuff for Fulham today. Not a good day for Southampton. Are they relegated today?
Yeah.
It's Big G. Good evening to you, Big G. I bet you were over there. I bet that was an amazing game for you. So exciting. Xerxes isn't good enough for Manchester United. Garnacho can't finish for Toffee, and he's greedy. Get rid. I think Garnacho needs to be in the team because he's the only person that has any directness that offers a route into the box. And he was a little bit unlucky, I felt, not to win a penalty in the first 15 seconds. He did a lot right there. He got across his man. It's like inches in the box. He was part of a really good transition, the first transition that I've seen for quite a long time from United that I liked, where it ended with Dorgu putting the ball across and Diaz blocking it with his chest. Rasmus was right there to take it. But the big issue today is that it's not particularly fun to talk about how great Yoro was at passing his man off and how he stopped Foden turning. It's that there was just nothing really in attack. The players that I thought performed well is I thought Delo once again had a really solid game and put decent quality into the box. I thought Bruno was very good. I thought Yoro was excellent, and I thought who else did I think? And I thought Garnacho, he carried a bit of a threat, but once again, it just didn't come off today. But he seemed to work better with Dorgu, which I thought was nice to see.
Yeah, I am a results kind of gal. So yeah, I mean, it's cool to see he's direct, or this person is dead, but results are not showing it. I mean, we are 14th or 13th or whatever. I know Spurs won today. I'm not sure about Palace, but yeah, we are 14th, 13th, and to me, I need to see that. Sorry?
Palace did win. There were 3 red cards in that game.
Oh yeah, against Brighton, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we are 13, 14, whatever we are. I'm not even looking at the table. I haven't looked at the table for weeks because I am petrified. But yeah, I just want to see this directness everyone is talking about on the results sheet because I'm sick and tired of, oh, but and I know we are analyzing, we are discussing, but I'm just kind of, maybe that's why I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to this game. I knew that we could, and I'm happy that we didn't lose to City. But on the other hand, I wanted us to win because I know that we could have scored. I know if we had better
They were there for
attackers,
the
or
taking.
they were there for the taking. They were very, very poor City, because it looked like as you said, they couldn't get it through the middle. They tried to expand the team with Doku and later Jack Grealish, but it didn't work. Marmush had one chance. He was very underutilized. I mean, they miss Haaland, but they also, Gundogan and De Bruyne couldn't do anything, and Foden as well, because he was taken off very early. Like, it's just, I just need to see this progression that, or progress that we are all talking about. I'm not even sure how to call it. I want to see it in the results, because I cannot take any more losses, any more misses, or any more draws. And I know it's April, it's almost the end of the season, but it's just, I hope that I see more, I see better play against Lyon, because that won't be a very easy game. And I know people are, as usual, United fans are going to underestimate French clubs, especially in the European competitions. But you need to realize they don't have anything to lose. They started playing very well, Lyon, and now we are going to play against a team that is on the rise in form, and that's a huge, and they are going to be motivated. So I need this progress and good things in the team or in the play against City to transfer onto the Lyon, and us actually scoring goals, because we saw it against Arsenal.
Yes.
We had a great game against like so Arsenal, Liverpool, blah blah, and the next game we lose to Palace or something. Like, we
Yeah.
couldn't transfer that to other games. So hopefully that changes now. But yeah, it's
I'm
just,
I'm fairly confident after that performance going up against Leon because City are still like the fifth or fourth best team in the league, and they have a lot of like match winners and stuff. I think that Foden's obviously had a poor season, and Casemiro absolutely thumped him like in the first 10 minutes or something, which was wonderful. But De Bruyne's still got quality. Marmoush is a good player. Gundogan is like I think he's quite underrated. But what we did is we limited them to just playing in front of us. There was no penetration, and honestly, that is a really really good building block to go and win the Europa League because.
mm,
Like I know scoring goals is the hardest thing in football, but we also had chances today, and unfortunately they fell to the players you wouldn't want to be on the end of stuff like Dorgu and Ugarte and Garnacho, I suppose, with the volume of shots that he takes. But with with a little bit more kind of coolness, I think in the final third, we could have easily got a result out of that. I don't think it's crazy to say that we should have won that 2-0. Like definitely Dorgu should 100% have scored. Like where he took that poor touch. Can't be a Premier League player and not be able to get a good shot on target there. We've got people coming back, but I agree with you. It's that what I don't want is 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, which is what we've had all season. But I think we're beginning to know what his first team is, and Ahmad coming back is going to be massive for us because I think Casemiro and Bruno are our best midfield pairing at the moment. It allows because today, I mean, like I like Harry Maguire, but him and Casemiro they couldn't hit the switch passes today. Like the first 10 minutes was just so embarrassing. Like, do you remember Ugarte? He was like he played at walking pace and he just like tries to do a half turn, falls over, and we've got to defend. We've got to defend like another transition.
yeah.
I,
It
I
was,
just
there was part of the game where the mid, like especially Ugarte, he's such an issue. Honest, like I know maybe I'm too harsh, maybe I'm overreacting, but the way he plays especially in the last few weeks or so, or whatever, he doesn't fill me with confidence at all. The way he loses the ball, the way he's, and I know that's his weakness. He cannot pass forward. Casemiro is very good at it. We saw it today. Few long balls, whipped passes and all that behind the lines and everything. But it's just Ugarte is an issue, and I don't know how can we use him properly. BT, like whenever I see him on the sheet, on the starting 11 sheet, and the way he sometimes fumbles the ball and creates opportunities. Today, I mean, he literally passed it to City players in very dangerous situations. It's not like he passed it to their defenders who are just behind the center. They were around 40 meters from our goal, and that's immediately a dangerous situations because they are immediately trying to get the ball over our center backs to Marmush, or put it over our defense to the wingers in Foden and who was on that other side. I cannot remember, but they're constantly trying to go like that, and they are trying to find Marmush or either Gundogan or De Bruyne or whoever is coming from into that box. And he put us in a and besides that Marmush chance in the second half, the biggest chance the City had was from Ugarte's mistakes today. And to me, that's a huge issue.
To be fair, Dora, a lot of our good chances came from Ugarte winning the ball. I don't think it's... Look, my issue is that a team in possession always has a spare man because, their goalkeeper can't come out and start playing at left back or something.
Yeah.
So you always have a spare man. And I feel that teams are leaving Ugarte as the spare man because he doesn't have the range of passing. He also doesn't like to get the ball forward a lot. And you can see that he's beginning to get on the end of quite a lot of stuff. Like I think he had like 3 shots in that game, maybe even 4 shots. But and okay, one of them will go in at some point. But because of his lack of sort of technical ability, I think that I genuinely think Fred would be a better player for us. Like I think Fred would have given you the same amount of stuff that Ugarte does with a bit more consistency in the final third. But he is what we have at the moment, and he's going nowhere. And maybe we should, maybe what Amrin is doing is by playing deeper. Like Ugarte's okay at breaking up the play, and he can get around a lot, so that when he does nick the ball, we can then transition. But with wing backs, man, you're always going to struggle with transitions because they're too deep. And you need width in a transition. So I wasn't impressed with Ugarte, but I wouldn't say it was his worst game. And I'll give every player credit today. They defended really well in the block. All the tricky stuff, like handing your man off, staying in the centre, they all did really, really well in that today. And Ugarte was part of that. It's just, it's the same as Dorgu. That they're very technically limited players and that they're not going to be able to produce consistent quality where it matters. And hopefully we can look at upgrading those players as soon as possible, churning them out, because the only man with any quality on the pitch today is Bruno Fernandes in the weight of his passing and things.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to look at some comments?
Yep.
We got Danny B in the house. Hello, Danny. How are you? I do love that your dog is so quizzical. We'll talk about Mount a little bit later. Right. If we don't get European football next year, Amrin will struggle to get players he needs. Exactly.
Yeah.
Ugarte wasn't great, but he did win the ball once, which led to a United encounter. I think he did it twice, Bilal. He definitely did it for Garnacho's first 30 seconds, where I thought we were in for one hell of a game. And that was probably the most exciting thing that happened. And he did it again for another transition. Yeah, I have to say, Bilal, I saw this as well. Like, Shaw was talking to Pep, and Pep looked absolutely disgusted by whatever Shaw was saying to him.
What?
It was really weird.
Okay.
Fred could get forward and come up with a goal. There has to be a young Luka Modric somewhere in my country. United Scouts, please find him. What country are you in, Nirvana? Because young Luka Modric are quite hard to come by, as Dora will agree. He's definitely in the top 100 midfielders in Europe at the moment.
Yeah, even when he's an old man.
Is it where does he rank? Like, obviously, he's going to rank much higher than he should because you're a Croat. But would you put him in the top 5 midfielders of the last 50 years from Europe?
Yes.
Better than Özil?
Who?
Özil.
Mesut Özil.
Yeah, World Cup winner Mesut Özil.
Yes.
Iniesta?
This is an issue, right? Xavi and Iniesta together, incredible.
Okay.
You get me, right?
Yeah.
Them individually, they were great. But look, it's up. Come on.
Kevin De Bruyne?
Of course, Luka is better. I mean, I know it's unfair. Those are not the same profile of players, but you get it, right? You get it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to. Who's the better player, Bruno or Luka? Okay, there you go.
Shut up, okay? Shut up. Just kidding. I mean, definitely different types of players, right?
Would you put Modric ahead of Scholesy?
Yeah.
Would you? I absolutely wouldn't.
I think Modric is a great. He's very similar to Scholes, but he has something else which kind of puts him over him. But Scholes was probably one of my favorite. I mean, besides Modric, my favorite midfielder of all time. Like, I had the pleasure to see him as a United fan, and thank God I'm not younger. Thank God I'm old to have a pleasure to watch him live, right? So yeah, I think like Modric is here, Scholes is here to me. Like, it's very hard to pinpoint, but they're quite similar in some parts of their games. That's why I respect him so much.
All right, spot the odd one out here. All of these are wonderful players, but there's one that stands out as being a different profile to the rest.
Zidane, Platini, Kanté, Iniesta, Xavi. Yeah, that's Modric, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I just quite like that Kante's in there, as he's a class player, he's a legendary player, but you don't really associate him with those kind of players, like much more box to box. Kroos or Modric? I'd go for Tony Kroos, to be honest, because he's taller and left-footed.
Is he left-footed? Isn't he a right-footed guy?
I don't know, but he's taller and he's not Luka Modric.
Yeah, I mean, just based on nationality, it's Luka.
Modric ahead of Souness? Never. Never.
Souness ahead of Pogba.
Souness ahead of Pogba. Souness is one of the best players that United Kingdom have ever produced, honestly. He's an extraordinary player, and he's probably got not too far from the amount of European Cups that Modric has. The Cape Cadet is in. Pep Guardiola, the man who killed football.
Yeah.
Pep's going to have to revive football because his way of playing, like, he can't do it in the Premier League anymore. Like,
you think so?
I'm quite excited to see actually how Pep is going to respond to this, because everyone is playing his style, and like, he's going to have to come up with something new. And Guardiola's done this over the course of his career, and I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be, because I'm really hoping it's long ball. Like, I'd love the long ball back in football. Step up, big man, win second balls, knock it back, head it out, put it out wide, cross it in. Oh, it'd be great. It would be great. Yeah. Tyrone, look at you on safari somewhere. I hope you're feeling better, Tyrone. Um, the state of the game is Pep's fault. He's ruined it for all of us. I mean, we always talk about this. If Pep Guardiola has sort of killed football, he's what I think he's done is that he came up with something that was just so incredibly overpowered for years. Like I think a lot has been made of it because lots of teams play transition football. You know, like Nottingham Forest, they sit back, wait to get you on the counter attack. Even Arsenal like play transitions. Pep doesn't play transitions. He took that out of his team. Even with like Erling Haaland, who you think from what we saw of him in Germany is one of the best transition strikers in the world. It's
Yeah.
like defending a leopard or something. Um, and so I'm not sure that Pep has ruined football. I think what's happened is that people have tried to imitate rather than innovate. Because
Mm,
traditionally you get like two kind of philosophies battering up against each other. And because he basically beat Klopp all those years, and Klopp was essentially about no control, and that you get like the chaos is its own bounty, as it were. And I think that people then sort of went to sort of Pep style. But I think that we're seeing a change now. Like look at Real Madrid and the bollocks football they play compared
oh my
to
God.
compared to what you see in the Premier League. It's pretty agricultural with great individuals, and I think football might be on the cusp of something new now. We got Jarvis. Board raw based on those opinions, those options. What option? Oh no, that's not Jarvis. That's Rich. I always get confused. They've got the same bloody thing. How you doing, Rich? I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yes, Tyrone. Honestly, if we can just get you on side about Delict, you'll be there. Um, Football has got so boring recently. Football isn't exciting anymore. I really like. I mean, I've kind of I fluctuate on football at the moment, Doro, but there is such quality in the Premier League. It's just not at Manchester United. Like, watch a
I
bit of
think,
Forest versus Villa.
yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I think that people should look outside of England a bit. And I don't know what you
Why?
guys watch. Oh my God, I don't know what you guys watch, but it's just I think you will get different types of football. In other leagues, like Serie A is still not. It's not that boring of a league anymore. They are a bit slower than Premier League, but they put a lot of things in the technical quality, which is great. You have face-based Bundesliga who
No.
are okay. I mean, just watch outside of freaking England a bit, and I
Brexit
mean,
means Brexit.
oh God,
Like,
you know what? You know what?
what?
Just watch Premier League then.
It's 20% tariffed everywhere. Premier League's only 10% tariff.
Oh yeah. Look, I'm watching Croatian League, which is awful this season, and it fell in quality, but I'm enjoying it because of the drama, and it kind of helps me, you know, enjoy football. I think we need more drama. Like this league
Like,
has been decided a few weeks ago, and it's kind of boring
yeah.
now. Yeah.
But in Croatia, do you get games like where we've just seen where I wouldn't even call it cagey. I would say that just both teams have gone out not to lose. I'm assuming that you do get games like that.
Yes, but sometimes it happens in big derbies, but they kill each other on the pitch as well. So it's kind of the fans are having flares. They stop the game. Then you have controversial chants. They say they are pigs. They are this. They call them names, and the players during the game they just kill each other. They kick each other. There are red cards. So maybe if even if the game is cagey in itself, like there is the drama. That's why it's interesting, right? So this season as well, like you have so many, you have two teams neck to neck, trying to win the league, and it's not a Dinamo Zagreb for a change, and you kind of feel the tension between two fan bases. You have Hajduk Split, who are like Liverpool. They haven't won a league in 20 years. They're trying to do it finally. And you have Rijeka, who are, kind of an up and coming club who won already 2 times before, 3 times before, and now they want to put themselves in that conversation. So there are stories, there is drama, there is tension. That's why the quality of football is not necessarily the biggest factor, but in the Premier League is just, I think that the league has been decided a few weeks ago, and people are, they find it boring. I mean, I believe that even in Europa League you will find, interesting football. We have something to play for example, against Lyon. And in the Champions League, I mean, we'll probably get El Clasico in the Champions League, which is kind of rigged by UEFA, but you get where I'm coming from. You have Arsenal. Okay. I mean, it will get there, but even if Arsenal make a miracle, like you will have Arsenal, two vastly different philosophies in Real Madrid and Arsenal. So yeah, I think we are kind of, I get where people are coming from. I don't have time to watch every single game every single time, and you kind of
it's because
get
it's
bored.
homogenous. It's homogenous, isn't it? That's the real issue.
Yeah,
is that like. Because I am not, we've had this conversation so many times, but I'm not a fan of playing it out from the back. I think that really only the top teams should be doing that, and they should be set up for second balls and so on. I understand why you play it, you should, but your first choice should be going along for me. But you can watch even like League One, League Two teams now are trying to play like Manchester City or the Pep Guardiola style, and I'm not sure. No, I will. There's something called rarefication, which is a Marxist theory, Dora, about why some things are better than others. And the most obvious one would be like why classical music is held in a certain regard and Morris dancing, drill, rap, stuff like that is held in a different regard. Even though that they're basically just forms of expression, I feel that there is a lot of snobbery around football and how it should be played. Like I can remember Lionel Messi playing against Glasgow Rangers and saying that Rangers played anti-football. And we always say like football should be played in the right way. I really enjoy playing backs to the wall, long ball, organised football. Like I like that. I also like playing, more sort of tippy-tappy stuff. But I think that all of it should be seen under the umbrella of football, and there shouldn't be this desire to just like sort of refine football into only one way of playing. It absolutely drives me up the wall. But we need to do some more comments.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rich is off on one. He couldn't give a shit about La Liga. I watched Serie A in the 90s. Now he watched Premier League. No personality, no flair, systematic robotic guff. What else we got? We got Jarvis. I always confuse Jarvis and Rich. Big up, Jarvis. Enjoyed your show earlier. Very interesting. Do you think the ongoing case against City has affected them this year? I'd be amazed if it hasn't, Dora.
Yeah, I mean, it has to factor a bit in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they don't have Pep staying, all these things. It's like you're up watching Maradona, R9. Now I have to watch Xerxes and Hoyland.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Rasmus has played nearly 200 games, still learning. I think he's nowhere good enough. I mean, he scored 1 goal for United in 4 months. We got 20 likes. Thank you all very much. We've got Rio in the house. Rio, a brilliant performance from your player of the century, Kevin De Bruyne. There we are. And there's some talk about the under-18s. Did you see our under-18s yesterday? We tend not to sort of talk about the kids, Bilal, as you know, because I think that they should just develop at their own rate. But I believe that wonder kid JJ was playing or something, and that is to be 14 years old and play against 18-year-olds is very impressive. Like because you're just on the cusp of men's football, and as a 14-year-old, I mean, I don't know what you were doing when you were 14, Dora, but I was mainly just hiding from girls, I think.
I mean, I was singing in a school choir. I was taking extraterrestrial. How do you say it? Out,
Extraterrestrials,
I know, but outside the activities, right?
extracurricular,
Extracurricular, yeah. I was
curricular.
curricular. But yeah, but yeah, I was singing in a school choir. I was going to, to tournaments with my school, with our group. I went to learn English. What else I did? I learned German, which is very very interesting because right now I can barely say, like, I can say ich heiße Dora, ich weiß es nicht, say, like I don't know any in
Yeah,
German
very
about that.
useful for a Manchester United channel.
Yeah, ich weiß es nicht, ich weiß es nicht.
Do you know
And
when we learn French and stuff, we always like say stuff like "Oui, madame, j'ai 12 ans, je vais à la piscine" or something like that. Like very like, is that what you do in Croatia? Like, hello, I'm 13. I like swimming. I like going to the swimming pool and
yeah,
the library.
that was literally the in the book, right, in the English textbook. Hello, I'm Zoko. Hello, my name is Zoko. What's your name? Like, I can still remember that, that part from the book where you are.
Zocco.
Yeah, it was like a textbook character. uh, I remember it. It was called Chatterbox, I think, the book, which is very interesting. Ich weiß es nicht. I don't know.
Can you say it in Croatian?
Pep je uništio nogomet. Nažalost. Nažalost is unfortunately in the end. Keika, tell me if you're satisfied, but yeah.
Players aren't selected on raw natural talent and skill anymore. Scouts and coaches pick players on fitness levels these days, plus players that toe the line, making football robotic 100%, in my opinion. Of course, I don't think you're too far off the mark there, Big G. Biomechanics, things like that have been in football for a very, very long time. Like Arsene Wenger used to look at players' teeth, and he used to look at like their running style as the first base for scouting them. And you can look at like our squad, which has a lot of very, very talented players in it, like Casemiro, Eriksen, you could argue Jadon Sancho, but they don't have the physicality to compete in the Premier League. You need both. And it's very disappointing because where are the Matt Letiziers of this world going to come from?
Yeah.
It's now so repetitive and boring. God, Rich, you didn't enjoy that game, did you?
Yeah, I mean, he probably feels that we could have won it, but I mean, I agree. Like the strikers these days are not strikers, in my opinion. Like they're not even pure strikers; they are know-it-alls who are used in many things. I mean, with the retirement of Ibrahimovic and the likes of Hernan Crespo or even Ruud and Van Nistelrooy and those kinds of strikers, when they started retiring, you could see that the strikers are dying. I mean, Lewandowski and Edin Dzeko are still playing, which is great, but they are those last pure strikers of the
they're like
modern game.
if you know
Sorry?
what coelacanth. Do you know what coelacanth is?
No.
It was a fish that was presumed to be like, it was a dinosaur
Extinct.
fish.
Yeah.
And they found it off the coast of Madagascar or something. This is very true, actually, Agile Beast. Ferguson didn't like Henderson's running, which I think is a bit more kind of witch doctory as opposed to like full-on sports science. But the principle, I guess, is the same. Drogba, a proper striker.
When those guys started retiring, you could see that the game started shifting away, and now we have Dzeko in Turkey and Lewandowski in Barcelona being the last of their breed, literally, and that's very sad to see. Even
like
Chris
Benzema,
Wood, Giroud, Karim Benzema. Like you have so many great strikers retired, and they're not like we need to go through another cycle of football trying to re-innovate itself.
We will do.
But we will. Hopefully
low
we get back
blocks,
to
man.
proper strikers, honestly. Hopefully we get back to proper strikers.
You think about all these strikers, all right, maybe not Inzaghi's and stuff, but like my boy Zamorano, Drogba, like any player that was good in the 6-yard box will be coming back to football, because with the way that low blocks work, like they completely deny you space. So you can't really use like sort of speed anymore. What you have to be able to do is you have to basically be able to push someone out of the way and head it in, or push someone out of the way and kick it in. And there aren't a lot of these kind of strikers anymore. It's no coincidence that Pep and Arteta both have 6'4" strikers.
Yeah.
And then this is a good one. Like Harry Kane he's a bit like Shearer on the basis that he doesn't seem like a very exciting player, but he can score goals. And that is, from what I've been told, that he was not like, we had Andrew Mensah on the show, saw him when he was 17 playing at Fulham reserves. And he said he could never have imagined that guy would end up being the striker that he became, that he just was nothing special. But Kane just worked on every aspect: left foot, right foot, heading. Like, he's just such a beautiful striker of the ball. And this is what you get from Tyrone. I don't like Kane, too slow.
Yeah.
And
I would kill for him.
Yeah.
I would kill for him right now at United, honestly.
Did we really just watch the Manchester Derby, or was that another Soccer Aid match? Soccer Aid's got
goals
more on it.
and more talent, apparently. More goal scorers.
Well, let's be honest. Like, I'd expect to see Luke Shaw play Soccer Aid before he plays for us.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Have you seen him? He looks like he came back from Bahamas. Like he came back from the beach.
Tan?
Yeah.
He did look very good, to be honest. Like, he didn't look fat. He looked in shape and things. And,
that's a good sign. Yeah, before he gets injured again.
Maybe. I mean, I am really interested where he's going to play if he comes back, because I could do with Dorgu being taken out of that team and sent to the under-11s to learn how to cross the football.
Can you see Luke Shaw running up and down the pitch for 90 minutes?
He's got a good engine, Luke Shaw. Like, there's a lot of things wrong with Luke Shaw, but he's got a good engine. He can get up and down. He's a good striker of the ball. He doesn't have a lot of assists, though. I think he might have less than 20 in 11 years. Do you know that's how long he's been with us? 11 years.
Yeah, since 2014. I remember when we signed him. Like it was yesterday, actually. We hijacked the transfer from Chelsea, actually, for 30-something mil.
Who are Shaw's one of them. Who are the other two longest-serving players at the club? Do you know?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's probably Victor Lindelof.
Correct.
Since he came in during Mourinho reign. And let's see. I'm not sure. Is it Harry Maguire?
No.
I'm trying to think. Sorry. Dalot.
Yes.
Mourinho days as well. His last season, his last summer, he signed, I think, I'm not sure who he signed besides him, but yeah, he signed Dalot from Porto in 2017.
It was, yeah, Dalot. Isn't that crazy? Dalot, Shaw, and Lindelof. Good. And fine, we'll finish with this, I think. Thoughts on Dalot finally putting in a good cross, and your review on how the two United players in the box did. I don't know. I don't know what's been going on, but like a lot of people are very down on Dalot this season, and particularly his crossing. He's been perfectly fine putting the ball into the box. He's put far more good quality into the box than Dorgu has, certainly on the right-hand side. Really good ball in the box. It's just a lack of like proper goal scorers. Like Ugarte throws himself at it. Well, first of all, what happens is that Rasmus takes out Gvardiol and Diaz, and I think he actually pushes Diaz off the ball. It's nice. So he's taken out two players there, and so it's one-on-ones for Ugarte and Garnacho. Garnacho body position horrible, absolutely horrible. like, I don't know if it's about, like, taking your eye off the ball, but the way he sort of contorts himself, it's not good enough for addressing a cross that comes in. Ugarte makes decent run. He gets in the right area. It's just a bit too high. I wouldn't really blame too much on him for that, but like Garnacho is absolutely dreadful in that situation, and it's a beauty of a ball into the box.
What was this situation? I can't remember.
First half.
Oh, when he missed it.
Where who missed
Garnacho.
it?
Garnacho.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he just kind of like, it's like a breakdance move or something. He like tries to head the ball on the floor as he's falling away.
Like Ray Gunn in the Olympics.
Like Ray Gunn.
He was Ray Gunn. Hopefully next time he's a footballer, not a bad breakdancer from Australia. Oh my God, yeah. that was a major miss in my, like, he should have scored there. Any decent striker scores that one, honestly.
You need to prioritize aerial ability more.
I think they're trying to do it. Yeah, but I think Amorim is actually trying. Like, I'm seeing more and more crosses in the box. It's just no one can. It's very rare for someone to actually put in a proper cross. And on the other hand, you have people who don't know how to position themselves in the opposing box. Casemiro is he is the only guy who knows how to read when he runs in to the box, and he's always in dangerous situations when he's in the air. But the rest of them, they need to work on it.
All right, let's do man of the match then. As Simon
I think
says.
Bruno got it officially.
All right, give me. Yeah, okay, Bruno. I've just remembered Bruno was quite clearly man of the match. I would say the players that I thought played well were Yoro, Delo, and I'll say Anana. His kicking was still dreadful, but he did all right, didn't he, today, Anana?
He had one save and he did get out okay, but I would say Yoro. To me, besides Bruno, I think Yoro had an excellent game. And you know what? One of the rare people who is brave enough to, run, even, when you could see that the midfield couldn't find space for him to pass it to them. He took it and, he took the ball and he did it himself and he created spaces for others. And to me, that's a huge green flag for Yoro. And yeah, he looked really good today, and I need to say kudos to Yoro. For me, he is a man of the match besides Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, he was good. I don't know about this, and I know we had someone, I think Jarvis called Yoro young Maldini. So we got a young Maldini and a young Nesta for him.
Oh, big pressure.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Big G, youngsters that don't want to head the hair because they don't want to head the ball because their hair will get messed up. What taxi are you driving, Big G? That's exactly the sort of stuff I hear when I go to the airport off my taxi driver. Andrew, Delo for me. Do you not think Bruno was good, Andrew? I've forgotten your ratings.
This game he played much better than the last one, Bruno.
Yeah. The only issue I had with Bruno, right, is that we were quite clearly like trying to defend in a block, and Bruno was waving at everyone to go and press the ball, and it was annoying me because I still remember that game that we played against Liverpool in COVID, where Bruno was just charging around trying to press everyone, and we got sliced apart. So I'm quite pleased that they didn't listen to him. Yeah. But he did.
I wouldn't listen to him at all.
Wouldn't you?
I was just, what? I mean, he's yapping throughout the whole game, okay? He's just, like, I would just, turn off my brain and, but no, just kidding. Like, he probably sometimes has good suggestions, but yeah, when it comes to defensive possessions, don't listen to Bruno Fernandes, okay? Just don't listen to him. Listen to him in attack, but don't listen to him in defense.
All right. Well, I think we're probably going to end it there. I'll end on a bombshell, which is I've started watching Severance.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Well, You know, the main guy in Severance with the chin that annoys me, Mark
Adam
S or whatever
Scott.
he's called. Sorry?
Adam Scott, the
Yeah,
main
that's
guy.
Matt.
Yeah,
He looks
Mark
so much like
Scout.
Mason Mount. And then, you know, who's the black guy? Dylan?
Dylan. Yeah.
He looks like a really fat Xerxes. So when they both came off the pitch, I was thinking about Severance.
How did you pull out freaking Xerxes like he? I cannot see it, honestly. I cannot see it.
Okay, well, I'll send you a picture. I've got to say,
Yeah.
like we've watched, I think 4 episodes of Severance, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's all right, but I'm very surprised by like the sort of like this is the greatest TV show ever made kind of stuff. Like,
No,
does it
it's
like
not of
pick
me.
up?
It
Because
does. It's slow, but it's really good. When you start putting dots together, it's really good. I
yeah,
enjoyed
and
it. I
Andrew,
enjoyed
thank
it.
you. Like, I just like it's there's nothing wrong with it, and I know that people really really like it, and I'm not gonna like piss all over people that like it because it's been
Ah,
mentioned. It's been
I mean, I
mentioned a
don't
lot.
care. I mean, everyone has their own opinions. Not everyone likes the same things. Like, for example, like I'm one of those girls that love trashy TVs from 2000s, 2010s. Like those are my favorites. Like I'm rewatching ER, and it's so good to me. Like I love like procedural crime dramas, and I love TV shows like medicine dramas, like Grey's Anatomy, and those kinds of things. I'm rewatching ER currently, and it's so good to me. And not everyone likes it, right? But when it comes to these kind of niche TV shows that are kind of popular, I enjoyed Severance. Like I watched it, and I enjoyed it, and I mean, second season as well, it starts quite slow after everything, but it kind of picks up and I like it.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
all right.
I mean, yeah.
It asks a lot of interesting stuff, but doesn't really sort of like answer it. It's like there's a Sartre play called No Exit, which is
Hmm.
about people in hell.
Mm,
And they don't realize they're in hell. And then eventually they realize hell is other people. And
yeah.
it's obviously like very kind of like based on that. But at the moment, the only interesting thing that's happening is John Turturro is like trying to have an affair with Christopher Walken. And that is literally, it's literally the only, it's the
I
only,
mean, it's
like,
cute.
yeah, but it's the only thrust in the plot. Like, it's the only thing where someone is trying to make something happen. And I just sort of think that if I was in Severance, like, I would genuinely be doing a lot of things very, very differently to how the characters are. I'd be trying to become the outie. Fuck the outie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be
yeah,
blackmailing him. I'd be doing all sorts of things. But anyway,
yeah. By the
um,
way, I started watching Americans. Such a good show, by the way. Watch it.
I've heard that that's very good, actually.
Yeah, I like political thing. Like I'm trying to watch. I have a queue whatever I'm going to watch, and after I watch my fair share of medicine dramas that I always enjoyed throughout my life, so I can get that.
Did you like House?
No, House is one of those things where after 2 seasons it gets meh, it gets repetitive. But I mean, to me it gets repetitive. But I actually one of those people who watched almost all seasons of CSI Miami, and kind of embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to say it. And even though it was the same things every single, it's repetitive. But yeah, I couldn't get into the House like after second season. It was just eh. But yeah, I'm watching Americans. Americans are great.
Yeah. Like I watched House when I was younger and I quite enjoyed it, but I didn't like
Yeah.
watch it every week. The one I really liked was Lost. I loved Lost so much.
Oh, Lost. I started watching it,
Lost.
but I never continued because I watched Fringe during that, and Fringe is amazing. Underrated sci-fi show. Check it out if you can. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
it's
Andrew.
great.
This is the one that I really like.
That's on my
Slow
list.
Horses.
I love Gary. Like it's so like, and I heard that they are kind of filming it quite fast. It's like on six. They are filming sixth season, or is it some like? It's very. You don't have to wait for 2 years.
Yeah, they do. I think 2 seasons a year.
That's
So
amazing. That's
Yeah,
so
like
that's so
I
good.
think
Yeah.
they're filming in London at the moment, but it's like basically Gary Oldman plays a cross between Luke Shaw and Casemiro, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Oh God.
It's also pretty stupid, so I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
But
I know the concept. It's very interesting to me, so I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm currently on Americans, and yeah, I'm trying to watch West Wing, a old political drama.
West
So
Wing's good.
yeah, yeah, I remember it when I was a kid, but I never watched it. But yeah, I have huge queue lists of shows to watch. So yeah.
I can't believe this. Like I started Lost, but never got the point. I'd stop. Lost is incredible. I love
Yeah,
Lost so much.
I don't get why people shit on the last like I kind of enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
think it's like people don't like the ending, but it's a bit like The Sopranos. Like these sort of like endings kind of change over time as people understand them more, and it
No.
like it's they're good. Like
Yeah.
Sopranos and The Wire, I think, are number one for me. But
Yeah.
look, it took too long to get to the point. A bit like me, because I think we should end the show. Like Mr. B will be going absolutely mental if he finds out we spent 20 minutes talking about slow horses and Severance. This is international break content, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. Mr. B will be back. Monday will be back, and they'll probably be like talking about the game, I suppose. I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow, but look, everyone have a really, really nice rest of your day. Start watching Lost if you haven't seen it. Dora, thanks very much for popping in.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. And as always, laku noć.
I think you've shot the gun a bit there. I say lack a notch first. It's a lack a
Okay.
notch from me.
Laku noć.
Here we go.